All right, so let's start off. We'll go in chronological order. So we'll start off Saturday, the 4:30 game. Look, we got the Jaguars going to the Kansas City Chiefs. We're in Arrowhead. Generally speaking, is no-brainer the right thing to say there?
It should be.
And look, I like the Jags. I really do. But it took a monumental, historical collapse for them to win by a point against what I view as a far inferior team.
Yeah.
Coached by a far inferior coach to Andy Reid.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Chiefs. Come on.
Right, and I think an important matchup to kind of watch here, the Jags have a fairly weak linebacking core, especially when it comes to being a cover linebacker. We know that Mahomes, his top target lately, outside of Kelsey, has been Jerick McKinnon in the back.
Yeah.
Because he's a nightmare when it comes to matchups. Right, he can move like a slot guy, but he's got some power, so you're not going to match him up against a DB. And plus, coming out of the backfield, it's really tough to match him up against a DB. He's too big for like a nickel corner, and he's too shifty for like a linebacker DN to kind of cover. So that's a matchup to watch because I don't think Jacksonville matches up very well in that unit. And so I think that not only is that going to allow out of the backfield stuff for McKinnon, I think he's going to run the ball pretty effectively as well. And when Kansas City can run and you still have Mahomes, it's ridiculous.
That's one of the many units that Jacksonville cannot measure up to Kansas City in.
Yeah.
I think this one's going to be pretty it'll get out of hand. Look, I like the Jags, and I think they've been able to do a lot of things, but this is where the road ends for Jacksonville.
They're ahead of schedule. This is ahead of schedule for
This
them.
is good.
Yeah.
You lose this week, chalk the entire season up as a win. It's the Chiefs. You got to know who you are a little bit.
Right.
Understand the situation you're in. You got Trevor Lawrence. He's going to be great, but he's not on a Mahomes level yet.
He's not. He's not at
he
that
doesn't
point.
have the experience of a Mahomes. Come on.
What if they go out there pretty competitive? It's a close game in the third quarter. Chiefs pull away late, win by 13. Like I know there's not moral victories, but like for me, that's a moral victory. See, they're down 3 going into halftime. They even briefly take a lead in the third quarter, and then the wheels kind of fall off.
Yeah.
KC wins by 13 or so.
I could see that.
Like, is that not? I take that as a moral victory.
Yeah.
I know you'd be kind of blowing a little bit of a lead, but like barely, like a point.
What's the line on this game? Do you know?
8.5 for Kansas City.
I like that. I would bet that all day.
I'd probably take Kansas City. Yeah.
I'd take them minus all day.
And it's not a team that I get worried about when it comes to a bye. Like, that's a veteran team with a really good coach. Andy Reid's like 26-4 off a bye, including playoffs. So I mean, that's not a team that I worry about. Like Josh Allen and the Bills, they seem so like they have to be in rhythm. Everything has to be kind of flowing for them to click on offense. Yeah. Like I think a bye would almost hurt them in some instances. I don't think that's the case with the Chiefs. I'll take the Chiefs.
I like the Chiefs.
All right, let's go with the Giants at the Eagles. This is another one where I'll go ahead and take the favorite, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the line we can argue about. It's Philadelphia getting 7.5. I would tend to take the Giants on that. That's a lot of points, especially to try to beat a team 3 times. It's really, really difficult.
And I'm not sure on the Eagles winning by that much.
Right. Jalen Hurts never won a playoff game. Nick Sirianni has never coached a playoff win. So, I mean, and look, we could sit here and talk about their roster all day long, and they have this, they have that. They're better here, they're better there. But until I see it, I'm not 100% sure. And I'm not saying that I have faith in Dan and Brian Dable either.
No, I don't. Not at all. Well,
but to be fair, they've won a playoff game before Sirianni and Hurts. I'm just saying.
True.
Granted, it was last week against a bad Vikings team, but I'm just saying. It's interesting. Something to look at.
Yeah, and a declining team in the Eagles, it seems. I'm not saying that they're hitting rock bottom by any means or that they're getting horrible, but they are for sure declining week to week.
And like I said, if they come out healthy, I like their chances, but I haven't seen that in about 3 or 4 weeks. So.
No, yeah.
All right, let's go back to let's go to the next day, Sunday, the 3:00 game. The Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Buffalo. Buffalo's getting 5 points here. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. I'm going to go ahead and take the Bengals. I think the Bengals, right now, I trust Joe Burrow in big spots to make the right play. Period. Point blank. I do. And I like Josh Allen. I think he's a more gifted player, more gifted thrower, more gifted runner.
For sure more talented. But physically talented.
He's making mistakes that you just don't know. Like, he's got 4 fourth-quarter picks. He's got 4 third-down picks. Those are both top, bottom 5 and bottom 6 in the league, right? It's not where you want to be. They kind of, with Dable, he was kind of reined in a little bit. You're starting to see that kind of go off the rails a bit. I'm going to take the Bengals. I think you actually like the Bills. Is that right? Yeah,
you like
the Bills being at home. I would imagine. Go and walk me through your thought process there.
You mentioned the first one. It's at home. It's in front of Bills Mafia. That's a horrible place to come into if you're Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal.
I think this is going to be this is for sure the game of the week. I don't think anybody's going to argue that.
Yeah.
This is, I would say, a coin flip. I'm going to have to go with Josh Allen and the Bills, though, just because of the explosiveness, because you don't see anything else like it in the league, except for maybe Kansas City. But the flashiness of that offense, the big playability, just having Josh Allen to be able to lead your team in rushing, lead your team in passing, basically put every single person on that team, put him on his back, walk him to a win. It's just, I love Burrow and I love the Bengals. This is probably one of the hardest game I've had to pick all year. I'm going to go Bills. I'm going to stick with my gut and go Bills.
It's fair enough. I'm really hoping that the Bengals can run the football, which I think they might be able to, and that might turn it into my favor. But it's a good point with the Bills being at home, so I'm a little worried there.
Yeah.
Let's go with the final game, 6:30 on Sunday. We have the Dallas Cowboys traveling to San Francisco. I love San Francisco here.
Yeah.
They have 2.5 days of extra rest. And let's be honest, that fourth quarter was a coast, right? That was a coast for them. Not that Dallas, didn't win handily as well, but, San Fran, they were a much better roster and a much better team than Seattle. With the extra rest, I think they have a better coach. I'm not saying they're a better quarterback, but as of right now, I know Dak had a really good game. Oh. And you take the last 8 weeks, they've had better quarterback play.
Yeah.
They have a more consistent running game. They have better weapons on the outside, at least a better depth of weapons on the outside. Their defense is significantly better. They're better at almost every unit. I'll take San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm going to go San Francisco, too. There's not much that makes me lean Dallas on this one.
Yeah, they're getting 3.5 at home. I feel like that's kind of low.
I think that's low.
I think it should be more like 5.5.
A 5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way, I would hammer that one, too. I would take Dallas and the points there.
No, I'm taking San Francisco.
San Francisco and the points. Okay. That's my bad.
I was like, oh, God. Yeah, no, I'll take San Fran. Like I said, better quarterback, better at pretty much every unit. So to go down, both take the Chiefs, both take the Eagles. I'll take the Bengals. You're taking the Bills, and then we'll both settle on the Niners there. Like I said, much better team, much better roster. So let's pivot a little bit here to kind of back